Throughout history, the British armed forces have primarily used imported weapons from other countries. That doesn't mean they've never made some pretty awesome guns of their own. What's up, everybody? Jimmy or Chaos. Welcome back to the COD History Series. Today, we are going to be looking at the 10 best British-made guns ever put in Call of Duty. Let me know in the comments what your favorite British-made gun is. Drop a like on the video. And at number 10 is Arctic Warfare. This real-world sniper rifle has had several variants throughout the years, and a few of them have popped up in Call of Duty as very popular rifles in the community. The most famous video game portrayal of the Arctic Warfare is easily the AWP from Counter-Strike, but if we're talking about Call of Duty, then you probably know the L96A1 from Black Ops, or even the L118A from Modern Warfare 3. And let's not forget the LW3 Tundra from Black Ops Cold War. Smooth, but heavy bolt-action rifle. It has an awesome design and a thunderous sound that plays whenever you pull the trigger. There is another British rifle made by the same company called the AWM that has also appeared throughout Call of Duty history. But we're going to talk about that one a little later in the video. The Arctic Warfare has been making a name for itself in gaming ever since the AWP started blowing up in CSGO. But as someone who always loved the L96 and the original Black Ops, I think this is a good way to start today's list. Guys, before we move on, we're giving away a PS5 at 2.8 million subscribers. Pinned comment below gives you all the details, multiple ways to enter, and it's all completely free. At number 9, the SA-80 family. It's a collection of LMGs that have appeared throughout the Modern Warfare franchise, and you can definitely probably pull up memories of at least one of them. In real life, the SA-80 is an extremely versatile weapon platform. Used as an assault rifle or a light machine gun in Call of Duty, it appears as the L86 LSW in the original Modern Warfare trilogy, then the SA-87 in the new Modern Warfare trilogy, and the UL736 in COD Mobile. What a name. Most of these iterations perform similarly, featuring a bullpup design and a relatively quick reload animation for an LMG, but you do get some bouncy recoil to compensate for that quicker handling. Now, I personally always had a soft spot for the LMGs in the original Modern Warfare trilogy, and the L86 in Modern Warfare 2 was pretty insane in the right hands. There's also some people who absolutely loved the L86 with a suppressor in Modern Warfare 3, and I do remember people absolutely swearing that the SA-87 was underrated in Modern Warfare 2019. And did you know? Modern Warfare 3 version of this gun was a 3-shot kill no matter what. Range, attachment, none of it mattered. It would always kill in 3 shots. Probably slept on it back in the day. At number 8, the AS-50. Now, I love talking about this gun whenever I get the chance because it's insanely underrated. Appeared in the original Modern Warfare 3, was later brought back in COD Online, rest in peace, and COD Mobile as the Arctic 50. But the original 2011 version was one of the most slept on guns in the entire game. Very heavy, very slow. It also semi-auto, virtually always killed with 1 shot because of the base damage. I think it was a value of 98 per shot with bonus damage to the stomach and above, so it would give you an insta-kill as long as you hit the target above the waist. You could also offset the movement penalties by equipping things like Quick Draw Pro and the speed proficiency. Definitely wasn't the gun for everyone, probably wasn't the best for traditional hard scoping because of the shorter than average sniper scope, but it was still a ton of fun to use. Extremely strong in the hands of a player who knew what they were doing. At number 7, yes, if you watch our videos on historically inaccurate guns, you probably know that the Enfield from Black Ops 1 isn't actually a real weapon. Treyarch invented the Enfield assault rifle by taking bits and pieces from various British rifles like the EM1, the EM2, but that means the Enfield is technically eligible for this list, and I had to give it a little shout because I'll always stick up for this ugly little thing. The Enfield was the starting assault rifle in the original Black Ops. Had a moderate fire rate with some bouncy recoil, but was also extremely consistent with its damage. Featured a profile between 30 and 40 damage per pop, which made it a 3 to 4 shot kill no matter what. In fact, the Enfield had the exact same damage profile as the Galil, just had a smaller mag and slightly higher recoil. So yes, you would probably put the Enfield down and swap to the Galil once you unlocked it. But if you were on the Prestige grind back in the day, the Enfield was a fantastic gun for leveling up quickly. It was extremely strong in the right hands, and it was so smooth. People talk crap about it because it was ugly, and it was obviously outclassed by the FAMAS and the AK-74U, but me, I loved it. I had to put it somewhere on the list since it's based on a British rifle, even if it technically didn't exist in real life. At number 6, the Sterling. This SMG has only appeared 1 time throughout COD history, but it made a name for itself in that 1 appearance. The Sterling SMG was added to COD World War II as a DLC weapon during the Blitzkrieg event in April of 2018, if you remember those events. Pretty low rate of fire, very forgiving damage, great accuracy, gave it a very unique feel compared to most of the other SMGs in the game at the time. Yes, it only fired at 545 rounds per minute, but it would also kill in just 3 bullets, which actually gave it a very competitive time to kill for an SMG in the game. And the 30-round magazine, it was a nice fit for a gun that fired this slowly, because you would rarely get caught reloading. Rapid fire, pretty pointless on it, because it would only increase the fire rate from 545 to 582. You were just better off using extended max or advanced rifling. At number 5, the well gun. The well gun made its COD debut in Vanguard. Now, a lot of people didn't really like it in multiplayer, but probably saw it a lot in Warzone as well. It was a meta weapon for a while during the Vanguard era of the original BR. The gun was added to both Vanguard and Warzone on January 11th of 2022. Moderate rate of fire relative to other SMGs at the time, but with a pretty generous base damage that gave it what I would say a pretty lethal time to kill. The well gun was also stocked with attachments that could turn it into a mid-range laser beam, which was one of the most popular ways to kit it out back in the day. The lightweight and easy recoil made it a great choice for aggressive and versatile playstyles, and some people even argued that it was the best SMG in Vanguard. I don't know about all that. At number 4, the AWM. I told you we'd come back to the sniper. Made by the same company that made the Arctic Warfare, and it also appeared in Call of Duty a few times under a couple different names, most notably the L115 from COD Ghost. Now visually, the AWM and the AWP are pretty similar, but they are technically 2 different guns, and I wanted to split them into 2 entries, partially because that's more accurate to real life, but also partially because that would give me an excuse to talk about the L115 from Ghost, which I always thought was underrated. Bolt Action Beast, one of the only snipers that could go toe-to-toe with the USR, and a lot of people insist it was actually the better weapon overall for traditional sniping. I'll let you guys decide. Base damage, 98 per shot, with bonus multipliers to everywhere above the knee, so it was a one-shot kill as long as you didn't hit the target in the toe. A beast of a sniper. A lot of people slept on it because it wasn't quite as flashy or as cool as the USR, but it's definitely one of the best British guns in COD history. At number 3, the Weebly. The revolver. It was a major part of the British Army's history. It was used by the British Armed Forces for almost 80 years, from 1887 all the way to 1963. Naturally, the Weebly or Webley, whatever you want to say, has appeared several times throughout COD history under a couple different names, but it had to be top 3 because it was a major part of the country's military history. Made its COD debut all the way back in United Offensive. Then it came back in COD 2 as a campaign exclusive. Then it took a few games off and returned in Black Ops 4 as the Welling revolver, and then again in Vanguard as the Top Break. Now, typically, it's portrayed as a high-damage 6-shot revolver with pretty generous damage at mid-range, made it super versatile in the hands of precise players as long as you can keep your eye on your ammo count, since it did only carry 6 rounds at a time. Is pretty awesome. At number 2, the Sten. It's one of the most reoccurring SMGs in COD history. Definitely the British gun that appeared the most times throughout Call of Duty. Most of us know the Sten for its side-fed magazine and clean iron sights. Also had really good fire rate and damage. It was almost always portrayed as an SMG with a moderate rate of fire, but it had pretty high damage and forgiving range, which makes it a great SMG for mid-range combat. It's appeared in almost every single World War II era COD game, as well as some guest appearances in Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 1 is a campaign exclusive, and Black Ops 3 is a supply drop exclusive. It's instantly recognizable and has been extremely consistent throughout the years of COD. And at number 1 today, the best British gun in COD history has to be the Lee Enfield. Despite only being usable in a small number of multiplayer experiences throughout COD history, it's still one of the most iconic bolt-action rifles of the World War II era. If you just focus on multiplayer, you probably know the Lee Enfield best for its portrayal in COD World War II. It was the first bolt-action rifle you got your hands on, had some pretty awesome stats. One-shot kill range average, but the fire rate was forgiving, and as a starting magazine, had 10 rounds in it. You could bump that up to 15 with extended, which lets you go on some crazy sprees without having to get caught in a reload animation, which was pretty historically inaccurate, but it's how it goes sometimes. If you played the COD campaigns throughout the years, though, you probably used the Lee Enfield quite a bit. It showed up in almost every World War II era game. In fact, World at War is the only COD game set during the Second World War to not have the Lee Enfield in either the campaign or the multiplayer, but it was actually supposed to be there until late in development, but they threw it away. There was leftover game files that proved it. I mean, long legacy, iconic design. I think the Lee Enfield deserves a number 1 spot. It's not the craziest gun in COD history, but it's sleek. It's laid the foundation for a ton of rifles to come in the future, and I'm making it number 1. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. I'll see you soon.